everyone, Angelina, Sparkling Diva, and I'm gonna do another pick a card reading for you, and it's gonna be about what will give you energy, and especially because right now we have the change of seasons, right? Here in the northern hemisphere, we are moving into autumn, and in the southern hemisphere, people there are moving into spring. And that brings with it quite a change in energy usually, and so we're just going to look at that, what can give you energy. And if you find this video later, watch it later. It is timeless. It's not really connected and only for now, right? So if you want to know what gives you energy, you can still watch it, of course. I have the booklets of the 3 decks that I'm going to use, and then I don't have to put that in the description box. So it's Wisdom of the Oracle deck, the Magic of the Unicorns, and Gateway of Light Activation by Kyle Gray. That's the 3 decks I am going to use. Then I'm going to put the crystals there and a card so you can choose the, which set calls to you. Right, so there is a jasper heart for each set. I can't, from the top of my head, recall which type of jasper. These are the same types, but I can't remember which ones. This is polychrome jasper, so all 3 are jasper. Just choose which one speaks to you. And you can also use the cards behind it. There's 1 card from each set, 1, 2 or 3. So you can also do that, or both, whatever is best for you, works for you. So please just feel into it, and I'll see you at your reading. Right, numbers 1. For you we have Come to the Edge, Poised, and Chaos and Conflict. Now what I'm going to read from these cards may deviate from the standard default interpretation of the cards, and that's because I'm of course focusing on the theme of the reading, which is what gives you energy. And then when we look at Come to the Edge, the first card, it's telling you to not settle in your comfort zone and in your normal routine, because that will not give you this boost of energy and feeling the joy of life if you do that, right? And especially with the change of energies, if you're especially in the northern hemisphere when it gets colder and all that stuff, you may feel like, well, I'm gonna really cocoon and nestle and cuddle indoors and under a blanket with a book, etc., etc. Well, that might be good at times, but it's not going to give you that boost of energy if you need that or want that, right? So it's even though the energies are changing, or regardless of what's going on in your life, it's important to do something different, to take a leap of faith and to have fun with that. Even though it may scare you a little bit to do so, because sometimes it can do that when we have to get out of our comfort zones, right? And but think about it. What is there to fear? It's not like you have to jump off a mountain or out of an airplane without a parachute, and the message is to do things that you normally don't easily do, but that would bring you joy. So it can be small things even that are still different and out of your comfort zone. And Poised is about new beginnings. So again, doing something new or doing something different than you normally do and enjoying that. Right? She is doing that as well. This is just joy, this eureka feeling. And you're ready for anything right now. And you also have the skills and the wisdom. And from that, you can draw confidence and just go for it. Just do it. And you may also be surprised at other people's reactions, as they too will sense your energy. If that's this joyful energy, like this, then people will feel that and they will react to that differently too. So it's a win-win then, right? And chaos and conflict is, for this reading, saying that you should enjoy stirring the pot a little bit, right? And again, meaning for this reading to do things differently or to do new things, to venture out there and to enjoy, live life and get off the beaten track of your own life and have some fun with it. That's very important as well, right? It's not about going out of your comfort zone to do stuff that make you feel like, oh my God, right? It should be joyful. It should make you feel good. And the last card I have for you is Shambhala Initiations. Shambhala Initiations. Normally this speaks of retreat and restoration, etc. For this reading, it is saying that doing all the other things that I talked about will bring you that restoration. It will bring you joy and energy, and it will make you feel refreshed. And even though something new may also cost you a little bit of energy, the joy and fulfillment from change and new and fresh will bring in a different kind of energy. One that is, it will bring a spring in your step, right? It will make you, just that. That's the easiest way to say it. It will put a spring in your step. So even if it costs you a little bit of energy to go out of your comfort zone, still do it, because it will come back in another way that will bring replenishment and restoration and joy and fulfillment. So, and if venturing out there requires you to cuddle up and cocoon in the evening with a hot cup of cocoa and maybe have an early night, because it was quite exciting to do that, then you then do that, but you will then do it with a sense of fulfillment because of the joy that you experienced by going out there, by doing things. And it's so that's your message. And I do hope it resonates. And I also hope that you're going to do it, because I know myself how easy it can be to just think about doing that, but still staying in that comfort zone and putting it off, postponing it. Like, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll go to XYZ next week. No, today's not a good day. It's so easy to do that. If you find yourself thinking that, then just make sure you do go out of your comfort zone, even if it's just small things for a small period of time, maybe an hour, maybe half an hour. It doesn't really matter as long as you do it. So this is what I have for you. This will bring you energy, all this stuff that I told you. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. Numbers 2, hi. Your reading, we have your first 3 cards, Flexible, To the Sea and Breathe. And flexible is, the message from that is what will help you right now to have more energy, to get more energy, is to be like a willow tree in a storm. Be flexible, be malleable, and with a certain level of curiosity. So you're open to learn new things. It is not a good time to try and control things, right? To have things go your way. That's right now would cost you more energy, and because of that could potentially wear you out as opposed to giving you energy. Maybe at other times it is the thing to do, to exert more control, but not right now. Now is more about going with it, going with the flow, being flexible while remaining fully grounded in who you are, right? Meaning it's also not the idea that you let go of your boundaries, because that would be stretching too far, too thin. And to the sea affirms that. As you ease into that flow, basically surrendering, that's what it comes down to. Things will work out for you. You may come to see how things fit together. Maybe you will see a pattern, or why a situation came to be, or why a certain event had to happen. And that's why you have to be flexible and more, going with the flow, so you can actually begin to see that. So just flow, right? Be flexible, observe, learn, be open to it all. And I get now, see how you fit into this. And I don't know what that is about, but it's the message that I got, that came through. And if it was meant for you, that message, you will know what that means, right? I can't tell because it's not a personal reading, so I don't get that. I just got that message for see how you fit into it. And with breathe is about patience and trust, and don't be in any kind of rush. Allow the element of air to replenish you by your breath. And in Eastern medicine, the lungs, the lung meridian, stand for inspiration. So it's really very important, that element and air and breathing. So what gives you energy is to let go of control, to surrender and go with the flow. But not in the sense that when you go with the flow that you doze off in that boat, right? That's not the idea. You have to stay gently awake and aware, so you can enjoy the journey, of course, but also gain insights, that learning that came up, right? That you may start to see patterns and how things fit together. Well, if you're dozing off in that boat, you're not going to see that. So it's important that you are awake, aware, right? Alert. And your last card, I'm just going to stick that in there without pausing. We have enter the magic, live in the now, seize the moment. Enjoy this journey, relish in the peace and calm and the openness of it all. Maybe you're not used to surrendering and letting go of control. If that is the case, you may feel as if when you do let go, you may feel as if a heavy load is removed from your shoulders when you do that. And if that part does not resonate, this card also speaks of being in the now. So it's good to remember that the past has gone, the future isn't here yet, and it never will be, as when it does arrive, it becomes the now, right? So it doesn't really exist either. So be in the now, let go of the past, enjoy, see what good there is in your life and all around you. That's also very important. Yeah, so all that, what came up, is what will give you energy. Let go, flow, flow, and flow. And stay gently alert so you can see what's going on. And that message, like, see how you fit into this. So this is what I have for you. I do hope it resonates, and I hope to see you again soon as well. Bye. And then I forgot to tell you something that I just saw. I will put that in the description box to make sure that you don't miss this last bit, because I feel this is also quite important. This entire reading of yours, I get a feeling that if you do all that, something inside you or in your life will shift. And it almost as if a new blueprint will replace the old one, and that will bring with it a new beginning and new opportunities and possibilities. And so it's really important that you do that. I saw it it just came in my mind's eye. It's, the outline of a person that will be you then, right? The one that I'm reading for, which is you. And I saw this shift of that grid inside that person. It something shifts when you do all that with the letting go of control and flowing, etc., etc. And the message that see how or where you fit into this. It will bring quite a substantial shift. So I wanted to give you that as well, and I hope that everyone from this set got that message. Like I said, I will put that in the description box. Now the reading is done. So okay, have a great weekend. Bye. Right, number 3, your reading. Let's see if, yes, hopefully it's focused now. Your first 3 cards: Observer, Mending, and Never-Ending Story. What gives you energy with the first card here, the Observer? What gives you energy has a lot to do with healing and letting go of old patterns, limiting thoughts and beliefs. Things that you may think were and are yours, but because of the cards that come up and what they say, is more likely that these are from family and possibly even ancestral patterns, beliefs and convictions and ways of doing things, not your own. You just took them on board as being yours because, well, if you were reared with them, you don't know any better, right? And in order to see which beliefs and thoughts these are, that are limiting then, of course, right? You need to take a step back and observe from a neutral standpoint. Because when you're fully immersed in something, a situation, an event or whatever, you will not be able to see the forest for the trees. So place yourself outside of any thing that's going on maybe, or any stories, or you need to have a like a bird's eye view. Then you can see clearly and objectively, and from there you can also then make changes if you want that, right? To change it so it does serve you, doesn't limit your life any longer, because that's what it's about. And mending, this actually what comes now, the whole lot that comes now is about, I'll remove that one, about all these 3 cards, the message from all 3 cards, not just this one or that one. It's a mixture of all these 3. To change, this change in beliefs, limiting beliefs and patterns may not be easy, because I think you may have had many of these for years on end, maybe your entire life even, right? And some of these may have done you harm because they didn't truly serve you, because they weren't yours, they aren't yours. And I don't mean like physical harm, but more like that maybe you missed opportunities or missed out on things or a person because of these patterns and beliefs. Like, for instance, thinking, being told always that, let me think, that if you aren't rich, you will never be wealthy either. You will always lead a life of poverty or not so much money. You can't change that, because that's just the way it is, and you just have to accept that and make do with it. And maybe that caused you then, this is just examples, right? Maybe then that caused you to not do a certain study, which now has an effect on what kind of jobs you can do, and led to you actually living with a lower paycheck every month, while maybe you could have done something else, And another example would be like a love relationship with someone from another culture or another religion or whatever would never work, right? It's just examples, right? I'm not telling you that this is what it is for you. I'm just coming up with a few examples to show it's not about physical harm, but how limiting beliefs and patterns, etc., could have done you harm in other ways, right? So just a few examples. Now I have to find my own train of thoughts again. And let me see. And even if you do find these, get clarity what these patterns and beliefs are, and that they indeed weren't yours, but maybe from your parents or a teacher or ancestral, whatever, don't blame anyone for that. Don't get angry about it, right? Let your discernment and clarity and your desire to change these things close any rifts between you and another person or more people, as opposed to making a potential rift even bigger with anger and resentment, maybe like, oh, why did you always tell me blah blah blah. That kind of stuff is not going to serve anyone, right? Bear that in mind, because that did come up with this card, to not do that, right? That doesn't heal, that doesn't bring the mending. And yeah, if someone else is involved or somehow related to any of this, to you holding these beliefs and limiting thoughts, I mean, then use your discernment to know and sense, feel if it would remedy and help anything or anyone to talk about it with them or not, right? Because oftentimes it is better to not do that, but trust your inner guidance and your heart in that, right? And in order to clearly feel that guidance, don't be too much in a rush to give someone a piece of your mind. And also, again, step back from any situation if need be, so you can have that clarity. And then you can feel and you can have that discernment of what you should do. Sometimes it's just best to maybe, if there is something you need to vent, right, to just write an angry letter, as if you're going to send it to someone, right? But never do that. But just by writing it, you get it out of your system. That can be very helpful. Anyhow, that's that part. The power of forgiving can mend. It can, including your own heart and your life, right? Whereas blaming someone might only keep the dynamic going, which will not be for anyone's good. Not for your own either. And if you do feel that it is best to speak about it, then do that with a gentle heart, right? You don't have to go like blah, blah, blah. You can calmly and come from love, show your pain, show your feelings, just do it gently, right? And you have to also bear in mind, I'm sorry that I'm going into, into great lengths on about this stuff, but it's because of what came up with this card, that I'm doing that. You just have to bear in mind that in most cases, people acted with the knowledge, skills, and the options that they had at the time, and which may not have allowed for much leeway to do things differently, or they just simply didn't know, or for whatever reason couldn't do things differently, right? And in that sense, it's so pointless to waste energy on blame. And with many things, we all do the best with what we have, and when you look back later on in life, you always see like, oh my God, if I could do that again. Yeah, and I think I actually believe it's that way for most everyone. In any case, that's all very applicable to your situation as it comes up in these three cards. And doing all this from what came up at the beginning of the reading, from the beginning of the reading to the very end of it, will set you free. and will allow you to get into your heart, in that heart space. It will get your energy going, as it will clear a lot of blocks that are in your energy system, in your energetic bodies. It can be a whole new start, and that is what will give you energy. And it may be a bit of an obstacle course to get there, right? Depending on, what comes up for you, the beliefs and patterns and what you have to change and so on. But I do feel that it can be a bit of an obstacle course, meaning it can take a bit of time to get there, to get through it, right? But you can do it if you want to, if you choose to do that. It's up to you. And this is very powerful because I get goosebumps all over from this part. If it is up to you to continue in the old path by which you keep the old stories alive for another generation to come, and they will then have to sort it at some point. Or you can break the chain and choose a different route. And if you do the latter, right, break the chain and begin the changes and all that stuff, you will liberate yourself, your ancestors, and the ones to follow as well. It will have a deep impact. This is much about family and ancestral healing. This is really a very deep reading. So I hope this resonates with you, and that you can do something with it. It can bring deep healing, a lot of deep healing. Look at this DNA here, this spiral. In any case, this is what I have for you. So thank you for watching, and I'll be back soon. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.